Alrighty, everybody. Apologies about the technical difficulties we had. We are back. Storm and I, Ryan Ocon, 31. Wow, Storm F1. He had some streaming technical problems, but we have got that situated. With that being said, so far, Storm looks like we've got every driver except for Red Fire Tiger who's completed a lap. It is supposed to rain from what I've told in the race, but it's supposed to start 10 minutes in. So that's going to make for quite the interesting start, because I heard from Reese's stream there are some drivers on wet setups, some are not. So this is definitely spice things up with that being said. But this is not the first time it's rained in Spa. We had season 7, season 8 where it's rained in Spa. Spa, it seems like it's a notorious track for drivers to spin in the lead as well. We could have that happen. We had that happen in the sprint last week with Gecko. So, would not be a first for that being said.
Yeah, and a shock as well in the top that we don't see a Mercedes in the top, but a Ferrari.
Yeah, both.
Okay, I can actually be somewhat heard.
Both Shorts and Bobby Lyons, by the way, 4th and 5th in Red Bull. And I want to mention, like we were talking about before we had to restart the stream, Bobby Lyons for Red Bull. You know, you said it, Storm. We may not have a surprise winner with the smaller field, but we might have a surprise podium sitter. We might have a first-time one. And we had that before, Beatnik in Spa, Cryptic in Spa, long time ago. With this being the 7-year anniversary, we're definitely going to go over some of the historic things about not only the circuit, but the league itself. You know, F1 Shorts won last season in Monza, but Bobby Lyons, he's never even won, never even been on the podium. It's never even been a thought. He's never really had a chance in a top car. Tonight is a good chance for that. And I'll have you cover this lap with Gecko as we start on a new lap with 7 minutes to go.
Yeah, turn 1 done with him as we go now through the compression with Rouge and Radion, and then the whole straight. To think about the battery, because this track doesn't really like the new cars. Lift just before the 3 corners, 5, 6, and 7, I believe they are. Then into Brussels, long right-hander. There was as well a big lift before the corner, then into the no name. So well, it's not really looking like he's pushing, but he is still using his battery, which is a bit depressing. Through Pouon as well, a bit of a lift, which is normal, to be honest, in Pouon. Then into Piff Paff, another lift just before it, trying to save the battery. After Stabilo, into Stabilo, the first one, not really attacking. It doesn't really look like that he's attacking Stabilo. 2.5 cents up on his time.
The tough part with this track.
All that
with the new cars. I was gonna say, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I was gonna say that's a tough part with the track with these cars. Like we were talking about, it doesn't look like they're pushing, obviously, but they're going quick, and he's gonna improve from the looks of things. But the battery makes it look so artificial.
Yeah, as Gecko does improve, but doesn't improve enough to get himself into P1. 43.861. Nisse has started his lap, a second flying lap of his qualifying. Let's see what his first sector will be. Ooh. Is improving, not improving, but pretty much equal to the last lap. Just 11 thousandths down on his time.
100th or 2.
What his first sector gonna be?
That could be a difference.
He is improving by 0.05 of a second. Back to Nisse, because he's the car that is the furthest on a lap from those two, and he really looks like he could be actually fighting for a pole, unless Cookie is gonna do something on his lap.
The thing I noticed with Gecko, I just want to say, Storm, the thing I noticed with Gecko, with him, if we go through the sector right now, you look at Nice, he's up by 0.05, but if you look at what Gecko is doing, he was only, at that point, 4 or 5 thousandths ahead of Nice right now. It's this part of the lap right here where Gecko seemed to be lost just a few hundredths. That could be the difference with, like you said, Cookie maybe taking it or Nice when it comes to the final runs later on.
Yeah, Nisa did improve to the second sector. Cookie did not. Nisa does improve his time. Yes, he does improve his time by over a tenth, 1:43.708. Cookie through the final chicane, bust of chicane. Cookie to the line. Does he improve his time? Yes, he does.
Wow.
By a lot. Goes P1. Provisional pole position for him, 1:43.657. But it's not Nisa is there. He's not on provisional pole position, but he is very, very close to it. Only 500 behind. So he is there. He's there to fight.
And despite
an actual fight,
I was gonna say
in the top.
Despite the pole lap that he got, Cookie, he locked the rears heading into the bus stop chicane. So maybe there's still more time to be there.
But Cookie really gained a lot of time through the third sector.
That's so crazy.
He just saved the battery a little bit differently and just had so much more battery in the third sector.
F1 shorts to fourth.
And that's where, he crossed the line, and 44.385 for him. I mean, he's faster than Red Fire, but he's a long way back from the top three. You can see where, the fastest drivers are, and then the sort of slower drivers from the top four teams. And then, of course, for this race, you have the sort of peloton in the back, or you could say kind of not really add-ons, but with only 6 midfield / back marker cars, it's a bit depressing to look at.
Yeah, and I want to say we have 3 minutes till the end of it. Yeah, well, 3 minutes to the end of it, and right now I'm just going to cut in because Cookie right now just got back to the pit lane. He is cutting it super close with getting a lap in for the very end. I mean, he's on pole right now, provisional pole, but as you said, Nice, who's in second, 500s, he's really fighting with Cookie and Gecko, both Mercedes, and Cookie just pulling back into the garage right now. He's got to get out there immediately, and he might be held up by Gecko, who's about to come out. So for the sake of a final flying run, these guys are cutting it super close. Dom is going out now, and Bade is starting to go out, but look at this. This is 2 minutes to go, and we're going to have a rush of cars coming out there for their final flying runs. Gecko finally made it. He should be fine getting a lap in, but it's Cookie and the rest of them that are really at trouble. Cookie now just coming out.
Yeah, Nice is still not coming out. I think he's only just now coming out.
Yep.
Or it might be, he's just now cut, so he's not gonna make it unless he's gonna cut the circuit.
Wow.
And use his battery, which is that if these drivers will use their battery on the out lap,
Cookie is right now.
Then I don't really see them have enough battery
for the lap.
For the lap. So it's pretty much game over.
So F1 shorts, we can say game over with him. He's in the pits.
Yeah, F1 shorts, Bobby and Innovate are definitely out. Cookie that's the circuit to make it to the line. It seems like it a bit through the com.
Yeah, same with Nice as well.
Dom is the first one to start their final flying lap, and he's really, I mean, there could be, besides Dom, there could be 3 more drivers who make it to the line. Knights, and then Red Fire.
They're just cutting this.
The other white car is
way too close. Storm. I mean, Gecko's got a full tank of battery. He's just hitting the final sector now, but Nice and Cookie are not even in the final sector yet. Cookie will get there first. They're not even at full battery. They're now just getting to a full battery, and there's so much traffic in the queue there as well. You just wonder how their laps will be affected. Red Fire wants to pass him. Here he goes.
Yeah, he's trying to go for it.
20 seconds.
Red Fire is gonna. That was Reese who was trying to overtake.
Yeah,
Red
sorry.
Fire is starting his lap now. So who is gonna make it? Reese.
Cookie might.
He's gonna make
Cookie
it.
might, but
he's
Nice
the
won't.
last one.
Cookie 5,
Yeah,
4. He'll make it.
he's gonna make it.
Nice
Reese will make it.
is gonna
But
miss
the
it.
two behind.
Checkers.
I don't think Nice doesn't make it.
Wow.
Who am I doesn't make it either. But these drivers who just about made it, they might have their laps compromised because they have such a low amount of battery, most likely.
Well, if
So
you
I
didn't
don't
get
know,
a
will they be
prediction
able
for
to
pole,
do that good laps?
you're SOL just like Nice, Shorts, and Who Am I are. Gecko down in the first sector. Cookie right now approaching the split, and he's up by a 10th. That's huge. He wants to stay on pole. Gecko could make it up through the rest of the lap. It's Red Fire doing 600s up. Night Owl, how was his first sector? Let's take a peek at that. He was up by a good chunk.
I looked at Dom, and Dom was improving in that second sector, but he overstay on the final chicane and stays with the same exact time.
Gecko will cross the sector split first. That's what I'm wondering about. Storm Gecko is going to get to the sector split first of him and Cookie. And is he improving? He is improving just a little bit. This could be to take front row back. Maybe not pole, but Cookie looking for a 41st pole. Currently extending to the second sector.
Yeah, but this could all be just a different way of deploying the battery, because now they might be improving, but in the third sector through Blanchimont into the bus stop, they could just be running out of battery.
And Gecko's getting a massive toe.
So much time.
Gecko with a massive toe.
Yeah, could get a good toe. Go second, 143.679. Cookie to the line. Does he improve? Yes, he does improve.
Wow.
2.5 tenths of improvement. Cookie takes pole, unless, well, I can already see that Reese is not going to do anything as he's going into the pits. So it is Cookie takes pole position, and it's yet another Mercedes front row lockout in the top. Then it's a Ferrari second row lockout, I think, that I saw with Nice and Night Owl. Yes, it is. Then it is Red Bull of F1 Shorts, Red Fire, McLaren, Bobby Red Bull, and Reese McLaren.
Wow.
So Reese as well, not that great from him. And then it's Knight, then the two cars of Lix and Donny, and then who I am, and then the two Cadillacs in the back as well, kind of
Cookie.
Unsurprising that they're at the back.
Claiming pole 41 in his RPL career at race 290 all time. Can you believe it? I mean, I know the gap is definitely a little different, but Gecko improved to make it a front row lockout. Night Owl improved to make it a second row lockout with Ferrari, and you can already see how damp the track is. I don't think any intermediate tires are being put on at the moment. Yeah, I mean, we have a difference right now. Hards, mediums, a little bit of a split here. Savage in a car. I don't know if that was meant to be done. I think he did it on accident with just spectating. But either way, we're looking at a potential wet race here with 10 minutes after raindrops showing on the screen for the drivers when they got the preview. But on the 7-year anniversary Grand Prix weekend, the new all-time winner, all-time pole sitter, takes pole position at Spa. And Cookie looking to win here, just like he did in Season 10 and after that. Season 10, his first Spa win. And I just want to check Reese's stream right now, see where they are at for the sake of the lights out and everything. I'm just going to take a peek at that while we have a moment. Chat, any predictions you have? Let us know. It does show light rain and then heavy rain toward the end. So we're looking at definitely a Brazil fashion type of weather race. I mean, even something similar to Season 7, where it did start to get dry at the end. Season 7, where Beatnik and Skither came to blows for the victory. Right now, a lot of the front runners are on hards, and you can understand why Storm with the rain. Right now, looking like it's going to hit maybe more toward the second half. You might not have to be on inners until really lap 14, lap 15, and that might have been what season 7 was like, which you got to make the right call for that. Mediums for Red Fire, mediums for Reese. So right now they're on a little bit of a bolder strategy, banking on the fact that it might rain earlier and they can gain positions on the guys who are on hards. Right now, no timer, so I don't have to worry about the start. But I have the tire graphic on my screen. You can see why drivers are on hards. And any predictions, chat, let us know. We would like to hear them from you guys. Who do you guys think will win? Who do you guys think will get a podium? What's your bold prediction?
Hopefully Savage is not going to cause a safety car because he's on the grid.
I'm thinking he'll just retire in the pits because of that. By the way, for those who were not here, Silverstone Cookie 10-second penalty to end the weekend. So he did hold on to the win, but only just. And that was a record-breaking weekend for those who were not here. He was not just tied anymore with Luke. He's now in a category of his own in terms of the all-time wins. We are starting to ready up. We're getting a countdown now beginning on a recent stream. So this is good. We're about to get the Grand Prix going. Chat, we would like to hear any predictions you guys have. Any last minute adjustments, strategies, fuel adjustments, whatever it may be, you better get them in now. We have 10 seconds remaining. Storm, any last thoughts?
No, just good luck to the drivers and hopefully we'll get a good run.
5 red lights.
4, 5 red lights. And it's going to be lights out. Now, and go here in the Belgian Grand Prix. Cookie gets a really good start off the line. He's on the mediums. Gecko doesn't get a good start at all. He's already eaten by the 2 Ferraris. Nisa and Nidal already in front of him. Behind the 2 Red Bulls and McLarens are a bit of battling. Bobby is behind Reese. He's dropped a place.
Our championship leader, though, with the wheel spin. Man.
Yeah, championship leader, terrible start of the line. And yeah, he's behind the 2 Ferraris. So he's really going to have to watch out.
Speaking of the 2 Ferraris.
As behind still Reese and Bobby fighting it off for P7 and 8. Reese is back up to P7. Red Fire trying to go for on F1 shot who goes wide into turn 8. And Red Fire is still behind. Is he going to go for the move into P1? Yes, he does go into P1 for a move. And he is up to 5th. But this could bite him later on the lap in the 3rd sector.
And Cookie, you made a last-minute change, Storm, on the grid with mediums. Look at the gap he's got already. A second.
Yeah, he's absolutely gapping Nice. Who is on the hards. So, for now, a good strategy call from Cookie, because now he can just cruise in the front. See what that will do to him later on in the race.
We have Bobby and Reese.
Again, there's so many different races.
And right now, I think Bobby wants to go for a shot. Is he going to do it? Oh, he faked him.
Looks for it, but doesn't get a run in the end. Reese still in 7th. A bit of
a swap for 3rd. Gecko goes back.
Gecko takes Nidal into La Source, so he's back up to 3rd.
Crucial.
Still needs to overtake Reese. Yeah, very crucial for him, because Gecko is still fighting for a championship with Cookie. Gecko is leading the championship still, but for now, this championship lead is shrinking.
Bobby blows by Reese.
Does he want to look for...
Knight's now challenging Reese. This is huge. Reese is losing it. Reese is down to 10.
Yeah, I feel like he completely ran out of battery. And that's what caused him to lose 3 places in just one straight, just no battery.
Oh, the crazy thing was Bobby was running out of battery even when he went by him. And I believe same with Knight, so despite that, there must have been something there. He goes Reese back by Danny, but I was just going to say, Storm, there must have been something to start the stream maybe. I wonder what his wings are looking like. Is he preparing himself for the wet conditions about to hit us in the next 10-15 minutes? There's got to be something different than just the battery, because Bobby and Knights, they both went by him with no battery to spare, it looked like.
Yeah, that could be as well a crucial thing as well, what the setups are looking like. Maybe he went for a wet setup and has higher wings, but we don't really know, of course.
Gotta be, yeah.
That is so much confidential as Donny is just closing in. He's not really that much using battery. Seems like he's just closing in and almost sends it into the bust of chicane. I mean, I gotta say, I mean, Reese has less ERS than Donny. It's not that little.
Right, and I was going
I
to say
just
that
wanna see
when Bobby and Knights were attacking Reese, they ran out of batteries. They were about to pass him anyway. It was just a complete shock. And this train behind Shorts is really forming. Here goes Gecko for second. They all were looking to make moves. Red Fire was doing so earlier. Now Nice finally does, and Gecko tried to go on. Cookie couldn't. And here's the gaggle of cars entering Sector 2. Shorts finally gets overtaken.
Loses 3 places.
Oh!
F1 Shots did get overtaken, but by 3 cars as well by his teammate Bobby, Red Fire, and Knights. So again, just losing so many places. I don't really know. Is he in the same boat as Reese? But Reese got re-overtaken by Donny. But Reese did run out of battery whilst Donny did.
Oh, Knights!
So that could
vulnerable.
Be as Shorts overtakes Knights in Puan, middle of Puan.
It's overtake or get overtaken.
Yeah, it's really a big shuffle in terms of how drivers use their ERS. Everyone is deploying it and saving it in so many different places.
Red Fire, this is going to get dangerous. Red Fire around the outside.
Wow! Blanchimont is still there. He's in front of him now, and he has overtaken Bobby in Blanchimont. Finalized it into the bottom chicane, and he's up to 5th.
Another tank slapper for Knights.
The amount of battery as well. Knights had a big overstay. F1 just looking down. No, he's not really looking down his side. He had a car next to him.
Yeah.
See what
the thing about Red Fire, I must say, the aggressive style doesn't always pay off for him, but this time it did. And right now, Cookie trying to break a toe with Gecko. Gecko not going to go for it. They're all going to stay content with what they're doing, but reasonably so.
Yeah.
Here's
I feel like those mediums might be a bit dying for Cookie.
Little contact with Danny. Shorts from the gravel.
No.
Oh, there they go. Shorts and Reese both off.
Massive overstay by F1 Shots. F1 Shots does come out without damage, but Reese, I believe that was Reese. Yes, he does have damage. So Reese got the worst out of there. Just unlucky from Reese. Nothing he could do there. The F1 Shots fully spun right in front of him.
And Gecko's full on attacking Cookie, but Cookie is losing it. Cookie right now is really backed up. Cookie, there's something there in that middle sector. It's got to be battery or something, but Gecko is full of battery. He wants to get by Cookie. Here he goes. Gecko to the lead.
Goes for the lead. And he's up to the lead. This is great news for him because, of course, he wants to extend his championship lead over his teammate. But most crucially for him, his championship rival. I don't know, are the tires, the medium tires on Cookie's car dying because Nisa is quite close to this pack as well.
There we go, a swap again.
That. Going for it.
Oh, Gecko locked up.
Kind of aggressive. Gecko locking up as well. Into the source. Now Nisa is quite close. I don't know, will he be able to take advantage out of that?
It was a little bit of a dummy. That's what it was. That's why I look at Gecko on the yellow part of the battery compared to Cookie on the blue. There's a little bit of a dummy fake. Here we go again. We're about to get 3 abreast, I think, potentially. No, we're not. We're good now.
It's gonna stay back.
Overspeed.
Yeah, at least it's a bit stabilized in here, but it's not gonna stabilize until we hit the pit stops. As into the middle pack, Donny overtakes Knights, but F1 Shots, well, expectedly overtakes Reese as well. Reese, of course, with the fronting damage or his races. I mean, it's going to be a very long race.
Compromise, that's the best way to put it. Yeah, he's got to hope for some safety cars or something massive to happen in the wet period. The thing about it, though, Storm, is that with Shorts and Reese now down and really, I don't want to say out of it, but out of contention for a good finish, Knights and Danny can really take good advantage of this, and that's good for them. They desperately need that, not only for them as a driver, but the constructors.
Yeah, they do really need it because of course the Red Bull and McLaren are in a bit of a
Oh, here we go,
battle
not again.
in
Just
the
like Red Fire.
constructors.
Hold on, just like Red Fire, Gecko's gonna do it around the outside here at, oh my god!
This is close. Gecko is still behind Cookie. But mainly this race, I mean, Red Bull and McLaren are not really that much of a battle. McLaren are quite comfortably in front of Red Bull. But it's mainly good right now for Ferrari, who are 3rd and 4th, compared to Red Bull, who are 5th and 9th.
He's just pushing him through Rouge. He was nudging him through Rouge, Gecko was with Cookie. The rain is here. Here comes the rain. The rain is just hit.
Wants to go. Yeah, Reese Rain is on the circuit. Now it's just going to depend how quickly will the track go wet. Is it going to take its time, or does it want to with the wetness? And perhaps we could see inters going on quite quickly.
Yeah. Well, the thing I wonder is, although you were talking about how worn the mediums might be from Night Owl and Cookie, is that going to maybe play into their hands with the track getting damp? It may not get wet enough for inters for a little while, but with their tires wearing, is this something that'll help them for a little while? The thing I wonder about is that if you time it right, if you're in the second group with Night Owl, Bobby Lions, and Red Fire, you could be looking at a potential fight for the win. And speaking of the fight for the win, here we go. Is this a race to the pit lane right now? You gotta wonder, with Gecko going back through.
Yeah, Gecko back in the lead, but I think it's Cookie as well trying to get the overtake mode.
Yes.
To him.
Yes.
To try and get a bit more battery in. I mean, the track is not gonna get that
wet. Shorts gets 2 and 1, but it's a little off the track. Shorts, oh, that's a little bit of a dangerous entrance to the pit lane, you'd think. Hit the bollard in the process. Night Owl also in, as you said.
Yeah, Night Owl, F-punch us legs.
Oh, who's going to lift with our 2 leaders? Who's going to lift? Oh my gosh, they almost collide through Rouge.
Neither. It seems like neither of them lifted. Neither of them wanted to lift, and neither did lift.
Wide.
Them around the outside, it seems like it might be between the 3.
Gecko's off.
And needs to lose it on the exit.
How did they all remain straight despite them going in the grass for a minute?
Yeah, somehow they managed to keep it somewhat straight, or at least not hit any walls.
Yeah. You can see with Night Owl pitting, by the way, what the inners are going to do. He's going to take a big leap right here. Storm, we were talking about that second group. If you pit first, what could happen? Night Owl not gaining too much, but he could definitely put himself in the fight for this lead, especially with what just happened. Gecko got in the grass, Nice lost time, and Cookie looked like he was going to come out worse with that, but he still remains in the lead. That was flashbacks to Korsman and TB back in season 10 when TB was coming out of the pit lane, and Korsman was there, and they both went side by side up at Rouge and Radion and somehow made it alive. That was literally flashbacks to that, but right now you have the 2 championship leaders who did it, and that could have ended in tears. Do any of them pit? Night Owl brought the gap down to Knights by 2 seconds. They got to be coming in. They are.
He's wide in Boston Chicane, completely misses braking points, and well, everyone is in the pits now. Cookie, Gecko, Nice, Red Fire, Bobby, Donnie, Knights, yeah, everyone is coming in. Now Gecko's gonna come out the worst the 2 Mercedes, as he has to double stack.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for him.
Let's watch Night Owl, because this is where they are going to be compared to. Night Owl, 2 podiums already. Can he take a 3rd? But more importantly, can he take the lead?
Lead, definitely not, but he could be up there close. Well, he does come out in fifth, but he does have the new, well, better experience in those inters.
Oh, here we go.
The low grip mode has been enabled as well. But a good strategy call in the end by Naida. I mean, he's in fifth, but at least he did not double stack with his teammate. Unlike with Gecko, who unfortunately had to double stack, and he's down in sixth.
And he caught up to where the first pack would have been. The only difference, though, is that Cookie simply did not double stack, and it brought him the lead, an even bigger gap.
Yeah, now it's 3.4 seconds.
Oh, Danny in shorts, come the blows. Shorts dip the wheel on the gravel right there. Oh, tough racing right there. Shorts into the back of him right there.
And we're looking into Nice and Redfire, who are close in P1. Redfire could be looking for a move into Piff Path. Does he send it? Yes, he does send it into Piff Path. Wide sliding as well with those inters. Trying to get the power down. They're still side by side as they go into Stabilo. Redfire in the P2 for now.
Lots of touching there.
Into the second Stabilo. Redfire still in the lead. Nisa goes into the gravel. Pushes him out, and Bobby could have a run. Now Nice.
Vulnerable.
Remember, these drivers now don't have overtake mode into nowhere. They just don't have overtake mode.
Around the outside. Oh, wheel banging.
Yeah, Bobby just goes, gets the move, but they're still side by side. They can't just push the overtake button because they don't have it. So let's see what this will do. Bobby around the outside gets the move done. It seems like it. Yes, he does. Yeah, in the rain, they don't really have to think about the battery because they can't really do much else than just put it into hot lap mode and let's see what the computer does.
Right.
But the Nice is still close and is trying to go for it. He has a run. He's now side by side with Bobby into Lecom.
Gecko gets
side by side still as
Naida on the back.
Nice and Bobby still side by side. Nice gets in front of Bobby. And yeah, in the meantime as well, Gecko did overtake Nidal. F1 shots battling with Donny into Lecom. Donny goes into the gravel, dips the tire into the gravel. F1 shots as well on the exit out of Lecom. Donny is back into the inside, trying to force F1 shots wide. Still side by side into the no name. F1 shots should be now in front, but Donny gets a good run on the exit out of no name. But he stuck behind, and F1 shots is up to P7 after a long battle with the Haas.
I must say as well, we got to talk about Redfire Tiger. You want to talk about a 7-year anniversary? Well, in the 7 years of this league, only 4 Tier 1 podiums, and that was once in Season 5, or sorry, 4 times prior to Season 8, once there, once I believe in Season 7, once in Season 6, and I think there was one as well before then, I believe maybe Season 3, but either way, I was pretty sure it was about 4 different seasons or so with him. He's looking at breaking that streak, and it's a very, very long one. Speaking of someone who broke a streak recently, Storm, Restaying to you, back on pole, did that at Austria. Broke a 111 race pole streak. But right now, behind Redfire, that's why we're talking about him and that podium streak that he's not had. Season 8 Brazil, that has been a super long time. And it's all happening behind him, which is helping his case, for sure.
Yeah, it is really helping his case. The three of Nice, Bobby, and Gecko are probably the closest that we can see. Gecko, of course, wants to overtake the 2 cars in front. Or really the 3 cars in front, but mainly he has to focus at the 2. Redfire is a bit further in front. Of course, he wants to get in front of Bobby first. But so far, not really able to. Can't really just force the battery, but the battery to just use itself up.
Reese back to 10th momentarily.
Yeah, and does get the 10th. But let's see, when is he gonna catch up to Knights and Donny? as they're somewhat close. We're within a second of each other. Donny as well, still somewhat close to F1 shorts. It's kind of interesting to see that everyone is just sliding around.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, no battery, just driver skill.
Yeah, and just trying to get the power down somewhat. As Gecko, is he going for a move on Bobby? Yes, he
thinks about it.
not trying. Bobby doesn't leave his space on the outside.
Bunch of nudging.
Yeah, just touching in between them. Gecko's just trying to get a good exit, but Bobby's not letting him, not letting it to happen. Maybe a send into Lost Source. He's quite close.
Woo!
Sends it fake, but Bobby doesn't get affected by it, unfortunately.
Something I want to mention earlier, just to kind of take our eye off this for a second, though, before the pit stops, the two Cadillacs were battling for 13th and 14th. I thought they'd have more of a show, but just not really the case for them with the rain and the car capability. But as you said, Gecko, ooh!
Gecko gaining. A bit of close between them. Gecko, is he going to get a move into the inside? Bit of contact between them. And Gecko, Bobby, massive contact between them. Bobby, I think he just closed in too much on the inside. Did not leave any space for Gecko. And Gecko has damage to his front left of the wing. So...
Oh, almost another collision. This was further back with Who Am I and LIX. Who Am I just ran right into LIX as the corner came up after the braking. Luckily, no collision there, but with Bobby and Gecko, collision happened there, as you said, and that's not going to be good for Gecko. Here he goes, missing the corner.
Yeah, he is understeering everywhere. Bobby's all over the back of him, and just what Gecko is going to have to do damage limitation in this race. Trying to salvage some points, and I don't know, hope that Gecko is going to bin it by himself, or probably not going to happen.
While that's happening, Cookie's got his lead out to 7 seconds, rather than a 5 or 6 second gap. He's cruising away.
Man, yeah, he's just putting the gap up. Just, I mean, there's no one really to fight for him. Just Red Fire is slower than him, and just cruising to. Even though it's still 10 laps to go, at the moment it looks like he's gonna cruise to victory. At the moment,
nothing's guaranteed though in RPL, as we know.
yeah, but so far with his championship rival with damage, you don't get a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. It should be pretty easy so far, but yeah, nothing is guaranteed in RPL. Nothing's guaranteed.
Yeah, I believe if I just checked correctly, about 136 or so races, if my math is correct, with Red Fire in his last podium in Brazil. I mean, he had a few races even this season so far to start that he could have been on the podium, or that he was, and it was taken away after the steward's office had decided otherwise. But Bobby Lyons is just pushing Gecko along with his damage, trying to get him to move along. But as you know it, Storm, you're Bobby Lyons, you just got to be patient here and hope for a mistake where Gecko goes wide, and then you can pass Gecko, which is about to be now potentially.
Maybe into Piff, but maybe forcing a send. And he's a bit far back for Piff.
Oh.
But Gecko goes wide. Bobby into the now outside.
Oh no!
Because you have to remember, Gecko has massive understeer and fully forces Bobby off the circuit. Did not leave him any space.
Man,
that could be a penalty going Gecko's way. Of course, Gecko just can't really do much with the understeer, but you can't really use that as an excuse.
I think for Gecko though, the only excuse that he's going to use is that when him and Bobby were alongside, Bobby did almost force him his left side into his right side. You definitely wonder if that didn't help Gecko with turning. I mean, it's not, like you said, it's not an excuse, but it still might be an argument made for sure when it all is said and done. And something that is happening right now is the battle for second place is heating up as Cookie extends. Red Fire is put vulnerable. Less than a second, the difference for second place.
Yeah, between the Red Fire and Nice. I mean, it is closing down a bit, in its own time. Still not close enough that Nice could think of a move, but he is closing in.
F1 Shorts
behind.
is there at Danny and Knights, but it's not going away. Well, Shorts does have a bit of a
these three are
neutral battery, I guess you could say.
Yeah, nothing can be done really with this.
Attack, but he can't.
Yeah, you just can't really. You can't really just force the battery. You just you put it into hodler mode on the straight, and it's like the computer by itself.
A lot of shoving going on for 11th. A lot of shoving about to turn into a massive incident, but luckily it's only who am I going off the road. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, the extent bit of force who are my off the second, although I mean that is what to the stewards if who I am is gonna report that, but that was a interesting
safe to say it's a bit argy-bargy today with everybody despite the wet weather. It's Gecko and Bobby Lyons go right now for 4th. About to be contested again. Bobby can't find his way through.
Just can't really go for a move. Yeah, just can't really have a doesn't really have a run. Maybe to the outside into bus stop if Gecko's gonna leave space. No, he doesn't. Closes the space on the outside.
Jam the brakes there.
Maybe into Lost Source. Could he get a good run? No.
Night Owl's
unless
in.
He sent it massively. Yeah, Night Owl's in.
That's an interesting one. Here he goes! Oh!
Doesn't want to leave space on the inside. He pushes his way through and is to fourth.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think Gecko would be able to have a run.
Yeah, but he's not happy about that. He hit the wall going into a rouge because he was so mad about it. Look at him, he's just shoving him now.
He's just bum drafting him. Gecko doesn't, Bobby doesn't want to leave space. Gecko lumps him.
Again. Twice.
Cheeky little stuff by Gecko. But now Gecko won't be able to do much since he has the massive understeer going on from his side, unless he wants to do something what Savage would call.
Don't suggest that, of course.
Yeah.
Especially as the championship leader. I mean, Gecko, you got to play smart in this situation. As much as you might hate the way Bobby's been racing you, it's definitely not the best way to go with this being said. What I do wonder, though, now, Storm, is Night Owl, who just pitted, does that indicate that the tires might not last until the end?
Could. I mean, could be, possibly. He's just trying to do it, equally. 6 laps on those tires and 6 laps on those. I mean, it is getting really wet, though, in Spa-Francorchamps. I mean, could have been that he could go for the wet, but he decided to go onto Inters.
I know.
I mean, it is raining really heavily here in Belgium. We could see someone go on the west, but
they're so useless, though, you know? Oh, Gecko's in.
Gecko in.
You gotta wonder, this one's a little different. He has damage, he's been fighting it. You know, I get it. But I definitely wonder if there's a wet tire being put on. Inters, though. The wet tire just seems so useless this game, even when it was the 2025 part of the game with those cars. They were still so useless, those wet tires. So you just gotta wonder what the situation is. Is it just the tire wear? What is it? But right now, Red Fire is vulnerable for second. Is he going to defend it hard here with Nice? Is Nice going to send it? He's going to send it late, but he has to concede for the moment.
Yeah, Red Fire, beautiful braking.
Whoa! Man, big
around
snap.
the outside, just outbraking Nice. Just being able to just block any sort of a momentum by Nice going into the next 2 corners in Lecom. And just good defending from red fire for now, as Reese goes for a move on Donny to move himself up to P7.
With Gecko pitting,
So he's
with fixing the front wing, he came out behind Night Owl. That's something to watch out for, especially for the sake of the championship gap, but also the rest of the race, if others do pit as well.
Yeah, I mean, now he has to somewhat try and work with Night Owl to catch up to the cars in front, because they don't know if they're gonna hit or not, if everyone is gonna pit in front or not for
You
their
just gotta
tires.
play damage
Cookie is
control
still staying out.
regardless. He got into his 2 incidents with
Yeah.
Bobby. He's gonna probably get a penalty for it. If you're banking on that, you better get by Night Owl and pull a gap, because at this point, it is just gonna have to be a lot of damage control from Gecko for the sake of his race and the title lead.
I mean, he's in a bit of a bad situation as Reese goes for a move on Knight around the outside into the bottom chicane, and he's up to 6th.
Seems like with
So
his
good
incident,
moves by Reese.
lots of overtaking that's been being done.
Yeah. And the next one in front of him is F1 Shot, who doesn't really strike with good pace. So Reese could catch
Nice
up
is all
to
over
F1
red
Shot.
fire. Storm, here we go. Red
Nice
defending.
on the inside. Red fire on the inside. Does he have a run? He's trying to keep it there.
Oh.
Nice leaves him plenty of amount of space, and Red Fire takes advantage of that. And Red Fire still in P2. Bobby's looking at it behind, praying that something's going to happen between the two, that they both collide.
Red Fire legacy race, huh?
Yeah, and just people to cruise past them when they are in a gravel trap or
Yeah.
a wall.
Gecko hounding the back of Night Owl. You gotta wonder what will happen here. These two good mates, but right now you know Gecko's title lead. He does not want to give anything further up at this moment. Still a great battle for 11th and 12th. If there's any collisions or any big penalties to Gecko, you gotta wonder if these guys could snatch a point with that being said. But you mentioned Red Fire and Nice. It does put Bobby back into it, and he's not going away. It's a 5-10 buffer with these three. And here comes Nice. This time to the left side. It's going to be opposite way of what Red Fire's been doing.
Yeah, on the inside, Nice does have a run, still a good run around the outside now into the bottom chicane. There's
Red brakes
still
later.
side by side though into the bottom
Ooh,
chicane.
ooh.
Very deep. Doesn't manage to stop Nice, and Nice is up to P2 into La Source though. Is Red Fire gonna send it back to the inside? It seems like he does send it back to the inside. Does manage to not let Nice have a great run. He does have a good run. Still side by side between the two. Is any of them gonna lift?
Oh.
The answer is no.
Oh no!
Sideways on the extra radion.
There just was not enough space.
Yeah, it seems like just contact between the two. I don't know. This
So slight though. So
Been round
slight.
knees.
Oh man. I was just gonna say, with Red defending for his life, you gotta wonder if there's something that's gonna give, and nothing gave, and it allowed Red and Bobby to keep the podium place comfortably now with Nice's spin. My goodness, Gecko and Night Owl 9th place up for grabs right here. A little bit of wheel banging down the straight, and Gecko on this inside, which now becomes the outside for the next set of corners, stays behind. Gecko not getting this one easy, that's for sure. Yellow, yellow, out, invade, it's safety car, safety car.
It's out.
Wow.
Circuit. This reduces the whole gap that Cookie was extending,
Which was 16
down to pretty much
seconds.
0. Yeah.
Cookie right now is still gapping
has
the...
a free pit stop.
I was going to say, he's still gapping them right now. Cookie better slow it down or he can get a drive-through. Yeah, he has to almost come to a complete stop almost. Jeez. Oh. He's in.
Yeah, but he will get a free pit stop pretty much. Then it depends what the others will do. This is it depends how you look at it from Nida and Cookie's Gecko's point of view, because well, they wanted to stay for pits, so that maybe if the others would have bad tire wear, they would benefit from that. But now that whole thing is cancelled, and well, they pretty much lost so much time now.
Everyone is pitting right here, to no surprise. I don't see anyone who's planning on staying out. You just would wreck your race, really, with this situation. The only one who could think of staying out is Night Owl or Gecko, but I just don't know what you're going to do if you're them right now. You are staying out if you're Night Owl. Gecko stays out too, reasonably so. You got to gain something back here. Not too much of a difference in tires, but the top 3 remain the same. And like you said, that 17-second lead Cookie had, that is erased. And we're probably going to get racing resuming here with 2 or 3 to go in Spa.
Little cheeky by the... I just saw that the little cheeky's move between the 2 Ferraris.
Yeah.
Nida slowed down for Nice. So that Nice would be in front. The Gecko...
Yeah.
Of course, they don't want to get in front, but we'll do that. But unfortunately, there are the rules, and he has to do that. But he's going to be complaining about that. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Night Owl and Gecko in 5th and 6th. Reason F1 shows in. Yeah.
What a crazy turn of events. I mean, Invade, he crashed at a Rouge Radion, quite a common place to crash, especially in the wet, so you can't really put too much blame on him. And also, you got to mention as well, this is not the first time he's raced a wet Spa race, let alone a Spa race in RPL F1 long time ago. You got to go back almost 10 seasons for how long it's been with Invade at this race. He was in the slowest car at the time, Haas, now Cadillac. At least he gets the chance to come out here and do it, not just be a team principal and be involved that way. So it's nice to see a near tier 3 champion, but right now our only proper DNF, because Savage had to retire with the being accidentally put in a car situation. But you gotta wonder now with Redfire in 2nd, you know, he's had so many chances to defend this podium. First it was Nice, then it's been Bobby. Well, it was Nice and Bobby, but now it's just Bobby. With this situation, I know Cookie's had the outright pace, the raw speed, but if you're Redfire, do you even consider at this point trying to challenge Cookie and going bold on it to try to get your first RPL F1 win? He's won in Tier 2 before Redfire. He's won in RPL Equal Tier, which was a very short thing a long time ago. Do you try to get your first F1 win if you're Redfire? Made his debut back in Season 3 at the opening round. Been here for a long time, since F1 2020. Do you try and go the bold route, or do you just try to keep the podium? I think if you're Redfire, you gotta try to keep the podium, but you know against Cookie it's gonna be hard to do that. Do you do it though anyway? You only have about 2-3 laps remaining when we're gonna get this thing back going, so why not maybe take a chance?
I think it would be pretty nice to see Redfire to try to attack Cookie, but I think realistically speaking, he's gonna have to look back and defend P2 in the end. But it would be pretty nice to see if Redfire would attack Cookie, if he would get a chance.
You just gotta wonder though. I know you say it's unrealistic, but if somehow Cookie bottles a restart or just goes wide, you know, these things can happen. It is not out of the question at Spa. Back in Season 7, Skither, the dominant guy to start Season 7, a brand new F1 22 game, he was vulnerable to teammate Beatnik. Beatnik practically spun around, kept the win, though it was not submitted to the storage. So, you know, you just have to wonder. I mean, hell, Luke almost won this race in an AlphaTauri. You just got to wonder. Crazy things have happened at the circuit. Cryptic with a first win, that's something else to mention. Minico a first podium. You know, unusual things have happened here. Is this going to be one of them? Redfire cannot believe it's been since Season 8 Brazil, the last podium he had. That's been 135 races or so. Something along those lines. It's been way too long. And right now, you just got to wonder, for the sake of maybe not just keeping the podium, but just maybe going for a win. The desperation does tend to kick in if you're Redfire. You know, and maybe this is something that does happen. We could get a late call with the safety car, but I doubt that'll happen. Dom is almost caught up, but the safety car not going in yet.
No, it's gonna stay out.
Yeah.
It's gonna stay out. So we're gonna. Well, it has to come in next lap, anyways, the latest.
But
so we're gonna see two
yeah.
laps of racing to go to the end.
I was gonna say, you know, with that being said, more of a chance for Red Fire to go for a shot. You know, I know
What
it
is
sounds
Gecko
crazy,
doing?
but you know, it's not out of the question.
Gecko already trying to Roman Grosjean alliance. It seems like just.
This a new way to warm up our tires?
Yeah, this is very far away from iRacing, unfortunately for him. The grass method doesn't work. This is not so unrealistic like iRacing.
However, if you are trying to get an RPL at a context
doesn't-
video, that's one way to do it.
That's one way to do it.
Not only were we going to talk about Red Fire Storm, I think we got to talk about Night Owl too, the recovery drive after pitting earlier, putting himself back in contention. Gecko as well, Reese in a collision earlier, Shorts in a collision. You know, they are definitely not out of a fight to steal a podium. God forbid something crazy happens. You know, a two-lap shootout. We've seen crazy things happen. You go back to Tier 3 Baku, you know, just a few seasons ago. I know it's a different tier, and I know it's a different track, but still, late race scenario, wet race here. You know, that does invite the door for things to happen. Gecko's trying to make them happen under the safety car, but we'll ignore it.
Yeah, well, no. Gecko's still doing his own shenanigans.
I will say, though, for Cookie's sake, you know, with a 17-second gap, if he does lose a victory like this, that'll be definitely depressing for sure. But looking at win 45 at race 290, and for Cookie's sake, another win on the season would be great. Another chance at maybe taking the championship lead back would be great too. Safety car in this lap. 2 laps remaining. If you got a prediction, give it to us now. We'd love to hear it. And you know the real life rules. You can't really go side by side, but this pack has got bunched up. A little bit of a stack up from Cookie's sake. With maybe breaking suddenly. Who knows what it could have been. It definitely got the field side by side for a moment in the back. Weaving, bobbing, getting those tires warmed up, getting them ready for the restart. We will have 2 laps left of this. The rain is still coming down quite hard, though, so a move that is made might be out of desperation.
Yeah, I think he's gonna go somewhere in here.
When does
Maybe.
he bolt? When does he
Just
bolt? We're gonna see. There he goes now.
He's gonna go just before the bus chicane goes a bit wide, though.
I was just saying that.
No one can overtake anyone, so it still somewhat works for Cookie. Behind Red Fire, though, Bobby is kind of close, but doesn't want to go for the move. But yeah, it's gonna be a very sluggish 2 laps.
Oh.
These guys are trying to get these cars rotated, and they're gonna be all sliding everywhere with this heavy rain coming down. It's gonna be very difficult for these drivers to get through these 2 laps.
Bobby's there, though. Bobby's there. Is he gonna go for the move? Second place. A potential first podium.
Yeah, he could get it. Maybe around your side. He's all around your behind, but Red Fire, for now, manages to keep his P2 through Lecom. I don't think Bobby is going to be able to have a run into turn 8. Won't have it. So Red Fire is still keeping P2 for now. He's desperate to keep that P2, and that was what we were talking realistically, that he's not going to have a chance to fight with Cookie. He's going to look back to Bobby and Nice to keep them 2 behind and just try to get the P2 home.
Gecko pushing it.
Because Well wants to get past in front of Night Owl, but I don't know, is he going to be able to do it though? Anywhere.
Cookie's long gone. You gotta wonder, for the sake of a 45th victory, you know, I mean, in the championship lead sake, you know, it's just too little, too late for anyone to say anything about it. You said Gecko and Night Owl, that slide, that battle, it's still going on.
Yeah, Gecko just can't really go for a move yet. Maybe a send. No, he's not gonna go for a send into the boss stop. Night Owl as well does get it stopped.
One lap remaining.
I mean, Gecko has to go. Yeah, 1 lap to go. One final lap to go. Gecko just has to go for a send on Night Owl somewhere.
Luke slides out.
Leaves the session at the end of the race. Shame for him. But I mean, I don't know, where do we want to go? In the front or to the bit further back to P5?
We'll keep an eye on
Maybe
both.
let's go back. Let's go
if we can
into the top. Bobby is slowly catching Red Fire.
Oh, to the inside!
To the inside. Sending it to the inside, but Red Fire is going to keep around the outside and has the inside.
And Gecko got 5th. Gecko got 5th. You know, for the sake of a penalty, maybe later on, for the sake of the title race, that's huge.
It is very huge for Gecko. I mean, if he gets even a 5-second time penalty now, he's going to be outside of the top 10 anyway, so he somehow has to pray that he doesn't get a penalty for
Red Fire, a little lag spike right there to keep
finish.
second. I saw his car jumping around right there. You gotta wonder, with Bobby trying to overtake, is there some lag potentially hindering his chances?
Let's see, I mean, there's still one overtaking opportunity for Bobby to overtake Red Fire, and that is Blanchimont, through Blanchimont into the boss stop, but the gap
Gecko 3 seconds!
Gecko gets a 3 second.
That is huge to end this race! That's huge! And Reese right now is on the back of Night Owl!
Yet, Reese is very close. We can say already that
Cookie
was on the win.
Is gonna claim win 45 all time at Spa. Red Fire
The Cookie wins it.
breaks a huge podium drought.
Third. Nice 4th, Night Owl 5th, Reese 6th, F1 Shot 7th, Gecko P8, then Knights and Donny in P9 and P10 running off the points pink position, and then it was probably Who Am I and
Leaks.
then Dom and then Leaks.
Cookie
It depends how far back.
win 45 all time. Red Fire back on the podium. Bobby Lyons, welcome to the podium. Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
History made. Oh,
A 7-year anniversary Grand Prix weekend. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I was going to say, a 7-year anniversary Grand Prix weekend. Definitely quite the anniversary way of doing it. Cookie winning again. Red Fire, welcome back to the podium. I mean, this has been 7 seasons since his last one. We'll see if the stewards have anything to say about the Nice incident. I know you were talking about that earlier too, Storm, but someone who surely might be safe. Bobby Lyons, maiden podium. How about that?
Well done to him for his first podium.
I don't really get a result screen here, so you might need to get that. I guess I didn't get off the podium quick enough. You'll have to picture the results for me. So Reese and admins get them. But with that,
I have it.
that being said, I'll have you go over that.
But the Gecko with P8, he might lose the championship lead though.
That's a huge mistake. The 3 second.
From Silverstone, he already lost 13 points.
Yeah.
To Cookie. 13 points. That's from the current driver standing we have. That's 31 points, so that's going to be 13. 31 minus 13, that's, well, good luck with math. 18.
Yeah.
So,
right now,
it's going to be very close.
Not looking good.
They could be, yeah,
Cookie's going to take the championship lead automatically. You got 25 versus the 4. Cookie's got the championship lead now with that win. But the question becomes, does Gecko even fall outside the points with the potential incidents maybe not going to go his way? You know, it's all a what if, Storm, at this point. You got to wonder how much of a what if though will affect him. Right now, it's a 3-point lead, I believe, for Cookie maybe with the current situation, but it's still a long season to go, you know. And right now, only just about the first half of it done. Still more questions to be had. What a first half of the season it's been anyway, though. Red Fire today, back on the podium for the first time in 7 seasons. Bobby Lyons up maiden podium. Cookie, a 45th win all time. Crazy stuff.
Yeah.
2 in a row as well.
Crazy stuff going on.
2 in a row. He's been on good win list streaks before in the past, but I mean, back to back after breaking a huge record is quite historic in itself. 5th win of the season as well. It's amazing stuff from Cookie. Red Fire, 5th podium. Speaking of number 5, 5th podium. Tier 1.
Hopefully this doesn't get taken away.
Yes, I know. You gotta wonder with the Nice incident if it's significant enough. You know, I don't know. The contact in itself was so minor, but the problem is, was it Red Fire to blame? Was it just a racing incident? Was it Nice to blame? Someone else who doesn't care though. Bobby Lyons, 1st podium. Good job to him, seriously. All right, Storm. Any final thoughts before we talk about where we are next week?
The only thing I can think of is hopefully my internet is gonna get better for next week.
I know.
It's such a lottery with it. It's so random.
The good thing about next week, though, Hungary. The good thing about next week, though, is that when we go to round 11 and we go to the second half, we have a closer race for the title right now. You mentioned before Silverstone, a 31-point gap turned into 13, now turning into 18, now turned into lead to Cookie. You know, we have more things to talk about with the championship lead being overturned at the current moment. And not only overturned, but, you know, Cookie with a 45th win. It's win 5 on the season. You know, he now has more wins than Gecko does in the season. We also have as well the returning podium driver, Red Fire, Bobby Lyons, the 1st podium, another first-time podium sitter in the season. We have a lot of headlines going into Hungary. And I look back at Hungary races and had close pole margins there. We've had first-time podium sitters, even for a team like Alpine. We've had many things at Hungary go right, but also go wrong. You know, it may not be a big track in terms of lap time, but it is in terms of implications. And I even think of tracks later on in the season, which we've had that happen before. Monza, we go to Madrid, which you've never been to before. Baku, Singapore, that's the big one in the second half of that season, where the championship lead, not only has that changed hands, but also some big races in the past. We look at season 8, season 9, the championship leader with trouble. Not only that, TB and Jack collided back in season 12 it was at that circuit. So there's a lot of things that I look back at with these upcoming races and I say, you look at Cookie and Gecko now at that title lead, what will it be like after next week in Hungary, Monza coming up, Madrid, which you've never been to, Baku and Singapore, 4 or 5 of those circuits being super big circuits for the way the championship lead changes hands, or even just the title race as a whole changes hands. You know, Singapore, 1 pit stop could make a difference. Baku, a photo finish in the past. You know, there's so many things to look forward to coming up. I can't wait.
Me neither.
It's gonna be fun, regardless of what track it is. But next week is Hungary. Any early expectations before we end off?
One of the Mercedes is gonna win.
There you go.
Most likely.
I would agree. It's
No idea.
but just no matter who it is. You know, you wonder with real life Kimmy and George, who will it be this time? Cookie, Gecko, which one will it be? Alrighty, guys. Ryan Ocon 31 Wildstorm. We are ending off the stream in Spa-Francorchamps. 7-year anniversary Grand Prix weekend in the books as well. We'll see you guys in Hungary next week for the Grand Prix. Bye, everybody.